Hello everyone. First of all, happy Independence Day to all. So today we will start with ratio. It will be the first chapter in our arithmetic series for CAT 2022. So let's begin. Ratio is a means of comparing two things. It can be salary, it can be marks of two students or anything. And it is generally represented as A is to B. And one of the important relationship which we need to remember while dealing with ratio is that if you are given that there are two numbers which are in A is to B ratio, and when you will add these two numbers you will get a quantity n, then in such scenario you can calculate the individual quantity. Like first quantity will be calculated as A upon A plus B multiplied by n, and second quantity will be B upon A plus B multiplied by n. So let's try to understand it with an example. So for an instance, if it is given that two numbers are in the ratio of 4:3 and sum of the numbers is 84 and we have to find the individual numbers, then we will write the first quantity as 4 upon 4 plus 3 multiplied by 84, and you will get your first number as 48, and the second number, if you have to calculate, you will write 3 upon 4 plus 3 multiplied by 84, and your second number will become 36. So 48 and 36 will be your answer. So if you remember this relationship, it will help you a lot, as it will simplify your job while solving questions during the exam. So let's check out some solved problems now. So moving on to the first problem, if it is given 4 is equals to 3b, find 7a plus 9b is to 4a plus 5b. So you can write a upon b is equals to 3 upon 4, and you can further write a is equals to 3k, b is equals to 4k. I hope there won't be any doubt till this point. And now we can just place the values of a and b in the fraction of 7a plus 9b is to 4a plus 5b. So when you put these numbers, the values of a and b, you will get the relationship in such a manner, and when you will solve it, you will get 57 is to 32, which will be your final answer. I hope you understood this question. So we will move on to the next one. So in this question, it is given the number of red balls and green balls in a bag is in the ratio of 16 is to 7. If there are 45 more red balls than green balls, find the number of green balls in the bag. So in this case, again, you can write that red balls is equals to 16k, green balls is equals to 7k. Now, green balls are less in number as given in the question. So if you will subtract 16k minus 7k, then it should be equals to 45. So when you put this as an equation, you will get 16k minus 7k is equals to 45. 16 minus 7 is equals to 9, so 9k is equals to 45, k is equals to 5, and you have to calculate the number of green balls, so which is 7k. So you will just place the value of k and you will get the answer. 7 multiplied by 5 is equals to 35. So 35 will be your answer. So moving on to the next question. So the third problem says what least must be added to each of a pair of numbers which are in the ratio 7 is to 16 so that the ratio becomes 13 is to 22. So the numbers are in the ratio of 7 is to 16. Let's assume that we add x to both the numbers, which is numerator and denominator. So the ratio becomes 13 is to 22. Then the equation becomes 7k plus x upon 16k plus x is equals to 13 upon 22. So now we will try to find the relationship between x and k. So when we will solve this as an equation, so it will finally evolve as 9x is equals to 54k, which means x is equals to 6k. Now x is the number which we will be adding to this pair of numbers, right? So hence we have to calculate the least value. So the smallest value will occur when k is equals to 1. So at k is equals to 1, x becomes 6. So 6 will be the least possible number which needs to be added to this pair. so that the ratio becomes 13:22. I hope you understood this question. So we will move on to the next one. So the next question says a number is divided into 4 parts in such a manner that 4 times the first part and 3 times of the second part, 6 times of a third part, and lastly 8 times of the fourth part are all equal. So let's try to decode it, what the question is exactly saying. If you see, if we assume that the 4 parts are A, B, C, D, okay, and 4 times of A is equals to 3 times of B is equals to 6 times of C is equals to 8 times of D, and we can also assume that since this is equality and these all is equals to a constant value K, okay, so now we can write A is equals to K by 4, B is equals to K by 3, C is equals to K by 6, D is equals to K by 8. Now we have to calculate the ratio between all these values A's to B's to C's to D. Hence we can write K by 4 is to K by 3 is to K by 6 is to K by 8. And when we try to calculate the LCM of 4, 3, 6, 8, we get 24 as the LCM, and then we can just simply solve it, and when we will solve it we'll get 6 is to 8 is to 4 is to 3 as our answer. I hope this question must be clear to you. In case you have any doubts, you can always write in the comments and I will respond back to you. Let's move on to the second last problem of this chapter. So the second last question is, if x is to y is equals to 4 is to 3 and y is to z is equals to 2 is to 3, then we have to calculate the value of x is to y is to z. So we will try to calculate the LCM of y, which is in both the ratios given as 3 and 2, so the ratio becomes 6, and we will try to make the value of y equal to 6 in both the ratios. So x is to y will becomes 8 is to 6 and y is to z becomes 6 is to 9, and hence x is to y is to z will become 8 is to 6 is to 9. It's pretty simple, it must be very obvious to everyone. And let's move on to the last problem of this topic. So the two numbers are in the ratio of 4 is to 5. If 7 is added to each, the ratio between the numbers becomes 5 is to 6. Find the numbers. So we are given that the ratio of the two numbers is 4 is to 5. So we can write it as 4k plus 7 upon 5k plus 7 is equals to 5 is to 6. Now we will have to solve this equation for the value of k. So you can multiply 6 with 4k plus 7 and equals to 5 multiplied by 5k plus 7. When you will open the brackets, you will get 24k plus 42 is equals to 25k plus 35. And when you will move the 24k on towards the right side and 35 towards the left side, you will get value of k as 7. Now you have the value of k, you can simply solve it. 4k is equals to 4 into 7 is equals to 28, and 5k is equals to 5 into 7 is equals to 35. So the two numbers were 28 and 35. I hope you understood this topic as well as the problems we discussed in this video. In case you have any doubts, please do write in the comments, and if you are following a particular book or a study material, you can solve problems in that. And in case you do not have anything, then I have a question repository with me which you can use. Just you can write a request on my email ID, which is aptitudesimplify@gmail.com, and I will share that questions with you. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Next video will be on profit and loss as well as percentages we will cover in the next video. Thank you, and do not forget to subscribe to Aptitude Simplified. See you in the next video.